Hello. Excuse my voice. Excuse my voice. Excuse my voice. I didn't cut my phone off either, so y'all heard my ring. But good evening. Happy March 21st, 2023. Happy Women's History Month. It is Tuesday, and for some people, it is Taco Tuesday. And guess what? I made tacos today too. I usually don't do that, but today for Taco Tuesday, and Marvin hadn't been in the home in a long time, we did Taco Tuesday. It is Tuesday, March 21st, and we are here to do the March challenge of the She Is Powerful. Welcome in. Did y'all do Taco Tuesday today? Let me know in the comments if you did Taco Tuesday today. We did tacos. Grace and peace, Ashley. Excuse my voice. So I'm excited today as we continue to celebrate women. And we are celebrating women entrepreneurs on this evening. And I am very excited about that. For those of you who don't know who I am Dr. Jayla Ray, your heart coach, your strategist, and your encourager. I am committed to your sustained pivot as you journey on purpose with divine alignment. Grace and peace, Latanya. All right, Ashley did Taco Tuesday over there with us too. Now let me tell y'all a quick funny story about Taco Tuesday. So my son came by after work, right? Because he really likes tacos. And so he ate a little bit of my taco meat and stuff and then went back for seconds. And do y'all know what he did later on? He gonna talk junk about my taco meat because I made it the way I like it. And so in my taco meat, I put in tomatoes, onions, and all the things, and I put corn. And I used taco seasoning and a fajita mix. And do y'all know he had the audacity to talk about my tacos on Taco Tuesday in my house? He could have just went home and made his own tacos. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with y'all because I'm like, sir, you didn't even have to eat my food, and then you ate 2 helpings. Grace and peace to Keisha. Thanks for coming in. I'm going to move on because I was a little bit in my feelings about that on Taco Tuesday because my son ate my food and then talked about it. Anyway, facts about women during Women's History Month. We're going to start with the facts. As I did last night, I want to start with a quote to level set us, to frame the discussion, because we're talking about women entrepreneurs, right? And it says, to be a CEO is a calling. You should not do it because it is a job. It is a calling, and you have got to be involved in it with your head, your heart, and your hands. I'm going to say that again. Your head, your heart, and your hands. Type in the chat, in the comments, I got to be in it with my head, my heart, and my hands. If you're going to be a woman entrepreneur, if you're going to be a small business owner, if you're going to run your own business, you got to be in it with your head, your heart, and your hands. It says your heart has got to be in the job. You got to love what you do. It consumes you. I don't know anybody in a business, a woman entrepreneur running a small business that is not something that they love. That would be oxymoronic. Who opens a business that they don't love? If you've done that, I would be interested to hear that story. No Taco Tuesday for you, Reverend Dr. Hope Simpson. Okay, well, we did it tonight. Do you ever do Taco Tuesday to Dr. Hope? And if you are not willing to get into the CEO job that way, there is no point in getting into it, period. That is by Indra Nooyi. She's a former CEO of Pepsi. I thought that was a very, very good quote to start us on today. I have quite a few facts and statistics that I would like to share about women entrepreneurs. Listen, too often, successful female business owners don't share how they got where they are. And you know, for Women's History Month in this year, it's about women telling their stories, celebrating their stories. So we're talking about women entrepreneurs. And one of the main facts is that women don't share their story, their entrepreneurial journey. And it says, in the shuffle of everyday lives, We tend to forget that women didn't always have the privileges that they have today. Having come a long way from the right to vote, women now own 31% of small businesses and franchises in the U.S. I think that's good growth. Grace and peace, Sister Julia. Thank you so much for coming in, Director. It says women are, and if you own your own business, put it in the chat. Let me know. I'm a woman entrepreneur. I'm a woman small business owner. Let me know. I want to know who's here because I want to celebrate you when we get to that part. Women are starting businesses in droves and choosing to build the life they want, whether society likes it or not. If you're looking to take that first step, breathe life to your new business by designing a logo and brand identity that encompasses your story and passion. All right, I see these women coming in with these businesses. Hey, Ashley has Magic Creations. I love it. Who else has a business? Who else is the CEO of their business? Who else has a small business? If you're a woman entrepreneur, let me know tonight. More facts. Most U.S. women entrepreneurs own micro businesses. Now listen to this. Typically defined as enterprises that employ fewer than 5 people and have less than $250,000 in sales and assets. While these businesses successfully support mortgages, living expenses, and payroll for a few employees, they typically are not the kind of enterprises that grace the cover of Forbes. Would you agree with that fact? Women are out here in droves starting small businesses, being women entrepreneurs, but they don't have the enterprises that make that face of Forbes, that cover of Forbes, but they're doing real good business out here, providing amazing services and products. But many don't share their story. Women entrepreneurs, we got to tell that story. Grace and peace, Chief Apostle. Thank you for joining. So, more facts. For some successful women business owners, talking about themselves, this is good, y'all, listen. Talking about themselves and their success comes with a visceral sense of anxiety due to outdated social perceptions. All right, people are sharing with me that they have businesses, that they're women entrepreneurs. Think about your story. Are you really putting yourself out there like that? Sharing your business story? Sharing your CEO story? Or are you a little reserved in that space because of social perceptions? Women were always told to be very, conservative, laid back, don't really talk about yourself, all of those type of things. It says, but a research-supported study found that successful women in business are being viewed positively with a high degree of likability that suggests an audience already primed to hear the story behind the success. Women, entrepreneurs, rise up, open your mouth, tell your story. The audience is primed and waiting on you. Push past the social perceptions. Tell your story as the CEO of your small business. And if you got an enterprise, tell that story for sure too, okay? Now, why tell your story? Excuse me. Why tell your story? Maybe you've been reluctant to put yourself out there, preferring to focus on your business as a whole rather than your role. Trying to push your business as a whole rather than your role, but your role has a purpose. Your role is what's going to encourage and inspire other women. We got to tell the stories, but you and other women business owners need to share the entrepreneurial path you've taken thus far for several reasons. For several reasons. I see these business owners coming in here. Hey, Erica Anderson, thanks for joining. Now, here are some reasons why you got to tell that story. Number one, it inspires other female entrepreneurs. For many women who did not grow up seeing women business owners in their neighborhoods, it can be a constant struggle to believe that they are actually capable of accomplishing their entrepreneurial dreams. Sharing your story can give them the boost of inspiration they need to keep going. So it inspires others. Number 2, establishing new gender norms. Archaic gender norms, which means long time ago, they're old, they're outdated, still cling to the surface of our collective conscious, giving rise to those social standards and perceptions again, and practices that continue to foster gender inequality. You know, Women's History Month is all about lifting up the equality for women in a lot of different spaces. And here we're talking about the entrepreneurial space. Adding your voice to the growing chorus of successful female business owners, you can show other men and women that female entrepreneurship and assertiveness are not to be avoided but pursued. I love that word, assertiveness. As a business owner, you have to be assertive, not rude, not disrespectful, not mean. But when you're running your own business and all 100% of the responsibility on you as the CEO, you have to be assertive in many spaces. You have to show up as the CEO of your business. That's how you do business. You can't go to no table trying to do business and you're not assertive. People are going to walk all over you. You're going to get some wrong, raw, crazy deals where it ends up putting you in the red. You have to show up assertive and knowledgeable. And I would say humble as well. But, you know, you can be humble and assertive, right? If you believe that, put in the comments, I can be humble and assertive. Hello? As a woman entrepreneur, I can be humble and assertive. Have you mastered that? Have you mastered that? People respect assertiveness. Hello? People really respect assertiveness and humility. They want to do business with you when you can move like that. Now, the last one is you people learn by teaching. This is why we got to tell our story, because we learn by teaching. When we share our story and our advice to other female entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs, we also reinforce the lessons that we've learned. Think about this, whether it is fact checking what we learned before we share with others, before we present it, validate the truth of new lessons that we wish we had learned and we did learn by taking the feedback from our audience, processing and sharing to deepen our understanding and business and things all about business as well. So we also learn by sharing our story, because when we go into spaces to teach others, we got to prepare for that. So we're always reaffirming and firming up our stuff. Okay. So now, you know, I'm going to go to the space of honoring women entrepreneurs. There were several on here tonight that shared with me that they have a business, and I'm going to lift you up. So women entrepreneurs, if you have a small business, I'm going to go through my comments and see who we have online, because I want to lift you up tonight. I want you to put your business link in the comments. Let people see what you do. Let them see what business you have. As a woman entrepreneur, we have Ashley with Magic Creations. Ashley, share your link. Do you have a link? Do you have a social page? Put that link here so people can see your business. I know for sure that Reverend Dr. Hope Sim Sutton has a business, probably a couple of businesses. Reverend Dr. Hope Sim Sutton, please share your link. We have Chief Apostle Dr. Sybil M. Sloan, has several businesses. Please, Dr. Sloan, Chief Apostle, share your links to your businesses. Let people see how the women in this space alone are doing the thing, running multiple businesses. Some people working a regular 9 to 5 and having several businesses. I was one of those people. I'll tell you my story here shortly. Julia Davis, I'm not sure if you have a business. I know Erica Anderson has a business. Her business is Primed and I don't know the second word. Oh, there it is. Primed and Waiting. Primed and Waiting. Is that the name of your business? If not, please put the link here. Any other entrepreneurs that I miss? All right. We have sheispowerful.com. Y'all, She Is Powerful is the reason I've been doing this challenge. That's her business. I'm a part of her community. We grow together as women. She challenges us. We come together and we learn together about business. The challenge for March for Women's History Month came from this particular business. Hello? Anybody else? Oh, here we go. Erica's business is Heal Anyway. Listen, Heal Anyway. If you're a part of Beyond You Grace and the God's Gift for Girls that just been occurring every Saturday, that Heal Anyway should really resonate with you because we're doing some real healing over there in that space. And can I tell you what really makes me happy about the people that are sharing their businesses here is that I'm connected to all of them in some way, shape, form, or fashion and growing with them in different ways. And it's okay because women really can do life together, y'all. And guess what? We must do life together. As business women, we must link up and communicate and collaborate and do collective things because we do things greater. So I really love what I'm seeing here. So we have Give More Incorporated. Hey, Tanisha, I haven't seen you in a while. We have Latasha. Hey, grace and peace, Latasha. So we have Tanisha Moore, who has the Give More Incorporated nonprofit organization. She has a business, but it's a nonprofit. And guess what she's doing with that nonprofit? She is making change in the community. Shout out to those who have for-profit businesses and nonprofit businesses, because a nonprofit is a business as well, if you didn't know that. Shout out to you, Tanisha, for doing great work too. Grace and peace, Director Latasha. Anybody else on here with a business? If so, I'll come back and look. But I want to highlight you. I have several people in my networks that have business, know lots of women entrepreneurs. And I love every bit of it because I learn from all of them. And I hope and pray that something along our journey, I've inspired them. I planted some seeds of knowledge into them because that's what it's all about. We are on this journey. And when we have a business, we're doing what, I call that divine collision. The things that we've been called to, the things that we've been purposed for, the things we love to do, things we could do where we don't get paid, but we're out here doing those things and we're getting paid. One thing I picked up from the She Is Powerful group that I am in community with is my business owes me money. That has stuck with me for the last year and a half. And guess what? It stays in the front of my head because the way that Reverend Dr. Hope Sim Sutton broke that thing down, it really resonated with me. Because as a businesswoman, she had us to think about our education, all of the professional development, any certifications, monies that we had to pay out to be who we are in our businesses. And if you write down those figures and you see what you have invested in yourself, you realize that your business truly owes you money. And so you start pursuing with a different tenacity, with a different resilience. Women, we got to tell our stories about all of that. Because what did I tell you? It will inspire other women. And there's so many people with dreams that don't think they can because they didn't see it. Sometimes we don't pursue and do our dreams because we didn't have the exposure to see it done, to see people walking in it. We must tell our stories about our entrepreneurial journey. All right. Every night, I tell you I'm a whole grown woman. Where did that come from? The She Is Powerful group. She has a shirt to say I'm a whole grown woman. Proceed, act accordingly. So I'm a whole grown woman out here in the streets. I'm a whole grown businesswoman, and I'm a whole grown woman entrepreneur. Never in my life as a child did I have dreams of being an entrepreneur, have dreams of being a business owner. But as a woman, I quickly learned through several careers, mostly in education, because that's where I spent most of my time. I was doing things that was business minded, right? And God told me in 2013, I was coming from North Carolina with my family, and he said, open the business. He gave me the name, which was Heart to Heart Services, that's what you see behind me. And I was like, okay, Lord, what am I going to do with this business? I obeyed, right? Without knowing all the pieces, without knowing what it was going to do. And I followed the steps. I went to the Georgia State Secretary, got the name, made sure nobody else had the name the way that I had it. Went to the county I was in, did the business license. I started off, y'all, my business with just being a tutor. Because I was an educator, full-time educator. So I started getting tutoring clients. And after school, I would go to their homes and tutor them. Absolutely loved it. And then guess what happened? At the end of that school year, well, before the end of that school year, really, because I opened my business April of 2014. June of 2014, I was resigning from the school system as an educator in that system And I was moving to DC to work in a whole nother space, in a whole nother region, in a whole nother calling and assignment that God gave me. And I worked it. And we built that thing. And it was amazing. But let me tell you how the business opportunity found me. When my name was mentioned in a room, if I had not had my business in order and established, I would not have been able to be a contractor for this businesswoman who had a business and was growing her business to work with her on a project. But God knew, and because I was obedient, I was ready. I didn't have to get ready. I didn't have to scramble in a new state trying to figure out how to start a business because God told me to do it. And I listened. And when they found me, because I wasn't looking for any business opportunities, please believe that. I was working in my assignment. I was working my hands to the nubs. You hear me? I was working 14, 15 hours a day, building something to advance my community, which I absolutely loved and still love. But the business opportunity found me. And I was able to then move in a space that I didn't even know existed and was waiting on me. And can I tell you, I was able to show up with assertiveness. I was able to show up with boldness. I was able to show up with confidence. And I implore and I encourage each of you, if you heard it in your shanana, Dr. Sloan will tell you, Chief Apostle, that's my thing. If you felt it in your shanana, obey. Take the steps. If you don't know what steps to take, guess what? Reach out to somebody, ask the right questions, get into the right communities, and be ready to invest in yourself. Be ready to invest in yourself to move that business along. God has something set for you if he told you to do it. Okay, that's a bit about my story. Now, I'm going to tell you how to tell your story because I had to get to this point to be able to open up and tell my story as the founder and CEO of Heart to Heart Services. Heart to Heart Services. Hold on a second. Okay, and so how do you tell your story? First, you have to identify the roots of why or something is holding you back from telling your story, right? And you have to push past the anxiety. The facts that we heard earlier talked about the anxiety that comes from social perceptions and how women are supposed to be in these set places. But we also saw that was archaic. That was old thinking. We talked about this even with ministry the other day because ministry is business. Hello? So you have to identify the roots as to what's keeping you back from sharing your story, your entrepreneurial story. Also, you have to use positive affirmations to combat those negative thoughts that come up in your head, telling you why you're not this, why you shouldn't open your mouth and share this, why don't you give examples and teach people how to do that. Come against all of that negativity with positive affirmations. Also, start in a safe place. I think this is so important. Start in a safe place. Places with others who have been where you're trying to go, who are on the same journey with you and where you're going, so that you can be in a space where you can learn and you can release freely in a trusted space and know that you will get honest feedback. A safe space is very, very, very important as you're building your business, as you're building your entrepreneurial journey, as you're getting to a space to open your mouth and tell that entrepreneurial story, because we know, even when we talked about writing and authorship, our story is not our story just to be our story, and that includes your entrepreneurial path. Every CEO that you run across got a story about their business, about their small business, their enterprise. Wherever they are now, there's a story behind it. And I can so assure you it's inspiring to me. So with that, I'm going to end with my quotes. Don't blame your parents. Don't blame your boyfriend. Don't blame your husband, the weather. Accept the reality, embrace the challenge, and deal with it. Be in charge of your own life. Turn negatives into positives and be proud to be a woman. That is by Diane Von Furstenberg. She is a CEO and a fashion designer. I'm going to put that in the comments for you. The next quote is, if you find yourself drawn to an event, I think this is so good. If you find yourself drawn to an event against all logic, go. The universe is telling you something. That's by Gloria Steinem. She's a journalist and an activist. And I can share again a little bit of Reverend Dr. Hope Sim Sutton. She'll tell us in community all the time, I'm going to these conferences. I'm going to these places where I know I'm going, where I can be in the room with people doing that. So when you see events happening and God's Girls with Gifts, everybody that's been coming to this March Madness events every Saturday, some people didn't know what they was coming to, but they came. And I can so assure you that they picked up something that was dropped, that was put down for them, that was ordained for them in that moment. So if you find yourself drawn to an event against all logic, go. The universe is trying to tell you something. And sometimes you got to go alone. I just got to say that. Sometimes that girlfriend ain't available, or that business partner is not available. That should not stop you from doing what you have been called to do by that dropping in your spirit, right? If you got to go alone. Next, think like a queen. A queen is not afraid to fail. She's not afraid to fail. Failure is another stepping stone to greatness. And y'all know who that is? That is the great Oprah Winfrey, the TV host. Greetings, Erica Smith, the great Oprah Winfrey, the TV host. All right. Next one, and I had quite a few because this one stirred me. It says, if you want to change this world, this community we all live in, then get up and do it. And just start something. Start something. If you've started and it's not going the way you wanted to go and you dropped it, rebrand. Start over. Start rebranding and start. If you haven't started, start. Start somewhere. It has not just been dropped in you just to be dropped in you. Hello? All right. You've been filled. This is a good one, y'all. And this is the last one. Almost, not the last one for sure. But it says, you've been filled with great treasure for one purpose: to be spilled. I love that. That is by Yoko Ono, an artist. It says, you've been filled with great treasure for one purpose: to be spilled. Get that graphic in your head. When I read that, I was like, wow. I've been built and filled with great treasure for one person, for one purpose. And that was to be spilled. So I've been filled to spill. Think about that. That's not only in your 9 to 5. That's not only in your ministry assignments and callings. That's also along your entrepreneurial path. Your calling as an entrepreneur. We've been filled to spill. Put in the comments, I've been filled to spill. I have been filled to spill. Hello? That's right, Chief Apostle. She said it's to overflow. Not just spill, but to overflow. I've been filled to spill, to overflow. I love it. I love it. I've been filled to spill, to overflow. That's your purpose. And we got to walk in it. So as I started with this quote, I'm going to end with this quote because I know I've been on here for longer than the normal time. But again, this stirred me. And I think so many women we're in this space and we're walking this journey. And if we can help somebody along the way, that's what we're supposed to do. So that's why I'm lifting up women entrepreneurs tonight as we celebrate Women's History Month for the March Challenge with the She is Powerful Sisterhood. To be a CEO is a calling. You should not do it because it is a job. It is a calling, and you have got to be involved in it with your head, your heart, and your hands. Your heart has got to be in the job. You got to love what you do. It consumes you. And if you are not willing to get into the CEO job that way, there is no point in getting into it at all. And again, that's by Indra, and I'm putting it in the chat. Nuyi, the former CEO of Pepsi. This has been an amazing March 21st as we celebrated Women's History Month and women entrepreneurs. Thank you for chatting it up with me. I hope something I said resonated. I hope something I said settled in your shanana. I hope something I said moved you to action for your own entrepreneurial path and sharing your story of your own entrepreneurial path. Thank you, Sister Vicky. Thank you, Kenyatta Willis, for coming in. I will see y'all tomorrow for day 22 of the She is Powerful March Challenge. You be blessed, enjoy your evening, and open your mouth, because our story is not our story just to be our story. Love y'all. Bye-bye.